Therapy doesn't always work. I know that's not what we're supposed to say, but it's the truth. Now, shocker. You go to therapy because you're excited to feel better, you want to feel heard, you want to get the help that you desire and deserve, and then you end up feeling more alone, crazier, and just like your therapist doesn't really get you. I know that was my experience, and I know I'm not alone in this. If you are going through something similar and you feel like you want to heal, you want to become better, but nothing's ever working, and you are questioning if that's because of you, I'm here to tell you, you are not the problem. And when therapy failed me, it was self-therapy that saved me. I literally took my healing into my own hands. I am a psychologist and coach myself, and I changed my whole life around by doing self-therapy. So let me show you what that is, why it is so different, and why it is the best freaking thing that happened in my life. So in this video, I'm going to show you why therapy fails you and why self-therapy is the non-negotiable solution. Now, I also want to add a little disclaimer. So if you are in therapy right now and it works great, good. Keep doing it, keep going, keep showing up. But if you're still here, if you clicked on this video, or if you're still watching, I doubt it. Because maybe therapy doesn't give you the effects that you wish it had on you, where maybe you're not getting the results that you desire, and that is perfectly fine. Let me show you a different way. Just be open and acknowledge that healing is possible no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. As long as you're human, this is gonna work for you. Now, let's start by going into why therapy fails us. Because the number one reason I see is that a lot of therapists are qualified on a professional level, which is great. Obviously, they need to have their degrees, they have to do their studies. Like, I love that. But also, I feel like a lot of them aren't qualified on a human level. So they don't get what the patient or the client is going through. They can't relate to you. I know that was my case where I felt like this person has read all the smart books in his world, but has no fucking clue what I went through. So books are more important than real human emotions and real human behaviors and real human experiences. And that is why they're lost, because they're trying to find a solution in their smart book that doesn't exist because it isn't related to the actual problem or the actual situation, right? And something that I also noticed over the years of me doing my studies myself and becoming a psychologist is really that a lot of mental health professionals have a big ego problem. They now feel like they are above you. They don't even know what the ego is and how it works. Let's start there. But they have this superiority complex where they just feel like they want to know it all. They want to appear like they have all the answers in the world and like they are the only people that could ever heal you. Like, you become so codependent on them because you start to believe that. Obviously, that's why you go there, because you trust them. But they kind of just want to push their own ego because of their own insecurities that they haven't dealt with. Now, they also don't like integrate mentorship. And I feel like this is also a big problem for traditional therapy because they just want to be professional, appear professional, act professional, and that creates a great distance between people. We're humans at the end of the day. And everybody has experienced some sort of pain and trauma. And if nobody, or like the professional that should help me, never shares their own insights, their own realizations, their own life lessons that they had to learn maybe the hard way, it kind of gives this impression that there's a lack of integrity, right? Because again, I have seen therapists who don't walk their talk at all. I have seen couples therapists who are in an on and off relationship for over 3 years because their partner's constantly cheating on them. I know of another couples therapist that is in a relationship with a narcissist and just cannot let go of that. Now, I have seen a lot of therapists who claim to do something and help people in a way that they cannot because they couldn't help themselves. If their life is messy themselves, obviously they cannot mentor you on things that they haven't done. Like, I cannot teach you how to overcome anxiety if I never experienced anxiety and never overcame it. I can read all the smart books in the world and I can let you know the theory and I can let you know the methods, but I will never resonate with you on a human level because the experience is just too different. The other thing is, a lot of the time, the methods work on paper, but not necessarily in real life. So it's methods that are super simple, which is great, but life is fucking complex. So they miss out on important factors, right? Like, a lot of the time, these methods make sense during the therapy sessions and when you go through them with your therapist, but then you go back into your everyday life and you're like, what should I do now? It doesn't work. Because there are things that are missed out on. So again, a lot of the time, people just are given these methods, these tools, and they don't even know why. They don't even know how they really work. They don't even know what they should work on. Like, what is the purpose of that method? What is the purpose of that tool? Like, oh, it's to relax you and to make you feel better. Okay, but it doesn't work. Because as soon as I'm stressed or in an uncomfortable situation, I'm back to my old self. So what's the point, right? Also, generally, a lot of people who come to me who have previously worked with other mental health professionals tell me that they have never heard anybody speak about the things that I speak about. The ego is one big example. That's why I mention it, and that most therapists don't even know what the ego is and how it works. But the ego is an essential part of the human psyche, and it actually sets you up for either success or failure in your healing journey. So again, you can get all the tools in the world, but if you don't have the right toolbox, it's not going to work. And the toolbox in this case is your mindset. If your mind isn't set up for success, isn't set up in the right way, all the tools in the world will not work for you. If you don't know how you function, because nobody ever taught you, that's not your fault. But if you don't know how your mind will react, why it reacts in the way that it does, how it links things together, how it gets reactive on trauma, how it stores memories and experiences, all of that will block you from overcoming these challenges, because you cannot overcome things of your own mind because right now this is all you know. This is like your reality. And if there is a problem, let's say you're not happy, you're depressed, you're sad, you're not where you want to be, whatever it is, it's just because you lack information. There's something in this world that you don't know yet. But if nobody tells you, it's going to stay that way, right? So we need to do the real deep mindset work before we go and see how it manifests into our lives. Because your behavior isn't just your behavior. Your behavior comes from something else. Your thoughts come from something else. It's no coincidence you think, feel, and act the way you do right now. You can change all three. You just need to know how. Now, humans are different. So what works for one doesn't necessarily work for somebody else, right? And again, when I look at therapy, there are great theories with great tools attached to these theories, but they lack real life results. So again, humans are or should fit the theory and not the theory to human. And that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if it doesn't work in real life, we need to question it. We need to contemplate it. We need to change it, adapt it, expand it. We need to do something. But right now, in most cases, if it doesn't work, you get the blame. You're made to feel crazy. You think you are the problem. It's like, oh, it doesn't work. Maybe you're not a fit. No, maybe it's not that you are not a fit. Maybe it's that the therapy is not a fit. Now, the next thing is that when people go to therapy, and don't get me wrong, I love therapy if it's done in the right way. But another problem that I see with it is when people get diagnosed with whatever, it becomes part of their identity. And I hate that because I feel like it is so sad and so unfair because you get diagnosed and you get labeled. So it's not just like you have this condition, it's like you are this condition. It's like your condition would mean something about your self-worth. It's like this condition will define you for the rest of your life. A diagnosis should give you information. It should provide you with some background on why you are the way you are right now, and then we should look at what can we do to change it. Because again, when people get diagnosed, it feels like forever. This is permanent. This is just the way it is, part of your identity. Boom, this is who you are now. I don't resonate with that. I feel like if we don't even try to heal, if we don't even try to change, what's the use of a diagnosis? Like, why would we even go there? So I feel like a diagnosis is something that you have right now, currently, up to this point. It's not something you are, and it shouldn't be something that you must now live with forever. And I see this with very easy diagnosis. I'm not talking about schizophrenia. I'm just talking about anxiety, where people are made to believe that they will have anxiety for the rest of their lives and that this is normal. It is not normal. If you have anxiety right now, there are logical reasons to why that is, and it sucks and it hurtful and it is fucking up your life. I get that. But again, there are methods and ways to get rid of it. It's not just I saw a post the other day actually about anxiety where somebody was like, how to live with anxiety. And then the first information on that slide was like, don't try to get rid of anxiety because that is not the goal. Try to find a way to live with it better, easier, something like that. This makes me so emotional and so mad because I'm like, no. Anxiety is not something that you should not try to get rid of and accept and live with for the rest of your days. Anxiety is something that can be healed, and anxiety can be healed pretty easily. Again, if you know how, if you are committed to the journey, if you have the right tools, the right mindset, and if you understand why you have anxiety, where it's coming from, and what it takes to get rid of it. Now, when I see people get diagnosed, again, it's like your struggles are unchangeable, right? It's like instead of working through it and healing it, accept it, live with it. And when people then obviously believe in that and adapt their own mindset to that attitude or to that belief, they then become these people who are like, this is just who I am. And this is why we now have this whole woke culture movement that is making people even more sad, even more depressed, even more unsuccessful. And I'm not talking about material success or money success. I'm talking about healthy relationships, happy friendships, a high self-worth, a good confidence. So we have now normalized that this is just who I am, instead of growing, changing, healing to become who I want to be. Because you get to choose, actually. Maybe nobody has ever told you that before, but you get to choose who you want to be. No matter where you are, no matter where you're from, no matter how you feel right now. You get to create your own reality. And again, this goes for so many conditions. Anxiety or the anxiety disorder is just one example. PTSD, eating disorders, ADHD, bipolar disorder, all these things, we can work with that. We can do something with that. But if we never question the way that we're now treating our clients or patients, we're never going to grow. We're never going to evolve. And if you feel like, but why would they not want to evolve? Why would the industry not want to evolve? Why would therapy not want to grow? Well, let's go a step further and look at medication. Drugs, right? It's like medication over healing. Managing symptoms with meds is now the new normal. It's not let's heal the root cause. Let's go deep. Let's see where this problem is actually coming from, because everything that is now coming to the surface, all these symptoms that you have, all these problems, these situations in your life, these thoughts are a consequence of a deep-rooted problem, a wound, pain, trauma, whatever it is. There's something deep inside of you that is causing all these things. So instead of healing that, we focus on suppressing or hiding the symptoms. And that's where I say a lot of the time therapy does lack depth, because there is something that we consciously ignore because we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to heal it. We don't know how to confront it. So we just give people drugs. And especially for young people, I see people in their 20s having subscriptions where I'm like, you are so freaking young. And then I see their diagnosis and I'm like, no, I don't feel like you should take that because you have abandonment issues. I don't see the reason why, because abandonment issues obviously do come from something that happened in your past. Let's face that. Let's heal that. Let's talk about that. Let's go deep and work on your subconscious mind and how your subconscious mind is literally taking on this information, how it is storing them, how it is connecting them to each other. Let's change how your brain is wired, and let's change your emotional reaction to your life and to your past. And then let's see if you still need those meds, to be honest. Because again, people are now thought that in order to manage their emotions, they just need to take the meds. They don't learn how to regulate emotions. And again, if people talk about, or if therapists talk about, not just therapists, like it's mental health professionals in general, if they talk about emotion regulation, it's like, oh, let's do this meditation. Great tool, but it's not gonna be enough for people who have a heavily dysregulated and fucked up nervous system. It's not gonna do enough for people who have severe traumas. We need to go deeper. We need to take it to the next level. And it's not meds. It is healing. Meditation is, we're going in the right direction, but let's not stop there. All right? Because people become dependent on these pills to function. It's like, oh, if I don't have my pill, I'm gonna get worse. If I don't have my pill, I'm anxious again. Like, even if it has nothing to do with the actual effect and we're talking about placebo, and it's like, just imagine somebody would have forgotten the meds at home and now they're at the meeting office, at a meeting at their office, and it's like, oh, I forgot my pills, panic. Just because now they're trained to believe that they cannot function without the meds. And that is literally causing another problem, right? So the truth for a lot of cases, not every case, of course, but a lot of the time, people don't need the meds. They need a healed nervous system. They need to regulate their nervous system, feel safe again in themselves, in their bodies, and make peace with their past. They need to change the emotional reaction and the emotional connection to their traumas, right? And I see it a lot where people are rejecting the meds because their gut feeling is telling them not to. I will never tell you to take or not to take your meds. I'm not qualified for that. I will never tell you that. But what I can say is I would listen to what my body has to say. Because again, people are qualified if they give you the meds. But are they really? And are all of them? I doubt that, because at the end of the day, they're humans. And humans make mistakes. Humans always just have this amount of information until they evolve and learn more, see more, change, evolve, grow, expand, transform. So there will be new truths. At one point, cigarettes were considered healthy, right? I didn't make that up. That's just how the human evolution is. So find somebody who wants to help you heal, not somebody who wants to help you numb yourself. Now, this leads to you feeling misunderstood and crazy and unheard, and I get that. Again, I was there too. A lot of the clients that I now work with have been there too. And I just want you to know that you are not the problem. It's not you. And just because somebody can't help you doesn't mean that no one can. Sometimes you have to go to see different mental health professionals in order to find your person. And that's fine. That's okay. Please do that. Make sure that you feel safe, comfortable, understood with your person, with your mental health professional. But at the same time, also make sure that you're getting the results that you want, that you crave. If you want to become happy and you've been in therapy for 2 years and you're still not happy, maybe we need to take a deeper look at that and change things up, right? Now, you are not alone in whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're currently feeling. And I need you to understand that your current state is not forever. Healing is possible, but you need to take action and you need to commit to yourself. And this is where self-therapy comes in. Self-therapy as in the non-negotiable solution. It has saved my life 100%. It is similar to therapy because, again, I love therapy. I think it is great. I just think it's not always done in the right way. So how is self-therapy similar and how is it different? And what is it really? And why is it the solution? In self-therapy, you take control of your own healing. So you work on yourself, for yourself, by yourself, right? You don't have to hide. You don't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not. You don't have to give the right answers. Otherwise, you will be labeled as crazy. You can be super honest and truthful to yourself and finally let go of your denial, the delusion mask, and just be real with yourself. Yes, it's uncomfortable. It's painful, but the truth will set you free. And you can never let the truth set you free if you never acknowledge it because you're too worried about what the person in front of you might be thinking about you. So there's no codependency between you and somebody else. You learn that it's you who can't heal yourself. It is you who can improve your own life. So you make process every single day, not just once a month for 60 minutes during a therapy session, basically, right? Because you are with yourself every single day, and self-therapy is something that is constantly with you. So you build self-trust, you build self-belief, which are essential to a healthier relationship with yourself and a healthier life in general. You normalize breakthroughs and these click moments, these aha moments. And that gives you hope, it gives you strength, empowerment, because it's like, finally something is happening, something is clicking. And you do it because you choose to do it, right? You get to heal yourself. But, and here comes where self-therapy is similar to therapy, you're not completely alone. So while you do the big part by yourself, for yourself, on yourself, blah, 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 you have a mentor. Now, this is a person who is qualified professionally and on a human level. So this is somebody who has read all the smart books, has the degrees, has done the official education and has done their studies and blah, 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 but also somebody who has healed themselves. Somebody who is literally an embodiment of their work. Somebody who can guide you and mentor you and show you the way because they have done it themselves. They have walked the path before you. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I feel like guidance and telling people, hey, this is where I was. It's basically exactly where you are right now. This is what I did. This is how I did it. This is why I did it. And this is where it led me to. These are the results. And if you repeat the same steps, and if you do what I did, obviously you're going to have the same results, right? If you follow people who have what you want and you do what they did, you will get what they have. It just makes sense. It's basic math, right? So you have guidance over instruction, over order, over thinking that you are underneath somebody. It's just like, hey, I'm your mentor. I was where you are right now. Let me help you. Let me show you the way. Because if I could do it, you can do it. And that is probably the biggest message. Because I know in therapy, the belief is to help people help themselves. But in reality, that's not really what they do, right? So I want you to understand that if your mentor could do it, you can do it, because we're all just human. And this is just the human experience. Now, you get the knowledge from somebody who lived the story, who went through the experience, not just somebody who has read about it, not just somebody who has qualified for it, but somebody who life shaped into the person that they are today because they have integrity. Integrity is the word here. The results that you get from that is obviously less trial and error, because you don't have to do it on your own. Because I see people wanting to get it right by themselves because they feel like if somebody helps them, that means that they're, again, not good enough. But in reality, it's just like if you have a mentor who shows you the way, you can do it faster. You can do it easier. You don't have to spend all this time, energy, blood, sweat to get to where you want to be, because we are 8 billion people on this planet. There's at least one person, if not 100 and a million, who have done what you want to do, no matter what it is. You're not that unique. You're not that special. We are a collective on this planet. Now, also, this reinforces the human-to-human connection. So you don't feel like you are above or underneath somebody else. It's like I'm here right beside you and I'm backing you up, right? So it's not this academic to patient relationship. It's human and human. And that gives a lot of safety and a lot of trust, and it makes it easier for people to open up, right? Because honestly, I would open up to somebody who feels like a friend way faster than somebody who acts like my fucking banker, to be honest, or like a robot or something like that. So connection over codependency. If I can do it, you can do it. You don't need me, you want me. You don't need me to show you the way. You want me to show you the way, so it's easier and faster for you, right? Also, self-therapy provides you with tools that work for your real life. So real life tools for real life growth. And this can be anything. It can be tools, exercises, methods like meditation. It can be courses. It can be workbooks. It can be a bunch of things. But you can use it every day and anywhere. So it's, again, not just this once a month thing. It's every day, whenever you feel the need to, whenever you have the time, like you get to organize yourself and you get to use them. It's not just, oh, they make sense on paper. It's like they make sense in real life situations where it's uncomfortable, where it's hard, where it's painful. So you overcome daily challenges. Step by step, right? You start breaking old repetitive cycles in your everyday life. And you get the exact know-how and how-to, so there's no confusion. And you know why it works, how it works, why you do it, and what your goal is. And that is the biggest gift. So fast growth lasts with actions being taken. Because the thing is, actions are really just a bridge between our internal and external world. If we start understanding internally what is happening with us, why that is, and how we can change it, and how we can go to who we are, to who we want to be, and we then take the action to manifest that into our external world, we have real life results, real life solutions that last. Does make sense, right? Now, the next thing is, in self-therapy, you also have the community aspect. So you are surrounded by people who get you. People who are literally on the same journey as you. People who want the same thing for themselves and for you. So there's no jealousy. There's no feeling alone. Because I know that the healing journey can feel freaking lonely at times, and it can feel like nobody understands you and you're just on your own. And here you're not. You're not alone. You're surrounded by people who aren't too focused on you because they're busy doing everything they can to work on themselves, but at the same time you get the support. So it comes with support and boundaries. It's like nobody is in your shit, but everybody's there to back you up, to make sure that you're good. If you need help, if you have a question, people are there for you, but they're not gonna like be on your neck all the time. So everybody is very solution focused, right? So it's not just validating some BS. It's not bonding over trauma. It's not gossiping and blaming your parents, your friends, your ex, life, God, the universe. It's about finding solutions. Everybody is like, how can I become better today? Every single day. And there's no gatekeeping, because that's what I see a lot, where people are just like finding things that work, but then want to keep that to themselves, because why would they want to share that with anybody else? Because then they could like get in front of them. And that is such a dumb attitude or belief, because there are so many people on this planet right now who are in need of healing and who want to become better and who want to explore their potential and who want a happy life. Why would you not want to give that to them, right? So there's no gatekeeping, support only, because we win together. If my clients win, I win. If I win, they win. If I evolve, they evolve. If they evolve, I evolve. So it's teamwork. Now, the result of that, obviously, is you feel seen. You feel understood. You feel heard. And your healing journey isn't lonely. You're not isolated. Like, you can take your own time. You can do it at your own pace, but you're not lonely. And also, you learn through other people's journeys as well, because you can see how they move. You can see the actions they take, their mindset shifts. You can see how they are transforming, which is beautiful and so empowering. And the last thing is, with self-therapy, you learn to see self-growth as the norm. It is not a quick fix. It is not something you must do because you're helpless without it. It's something that you do because you want to do it. It's something that you do long term because it just keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. I've said it before in another content format, but if you've done 2 years of healing work or personal development work or less, you haven't even scratched the surface. Not the surface of your deepest wounds and not the surface of your potential. So it keeps getting better. You keep growing. You keep experiencing life very differently to what it is now. I can promise you that. And honestly, the results last, because it's not like I did it once, I did it for a month, I did it for 3 months, I did it for 6 months, or I did it for a year, and then I'm back to being the old me. It's like, no, you keep evolving, you keep getting better, and this is just part of who you are now. An ever-evolving person. If you want to become happy, you need to evolve. Stagnant people are comfortable. Comfortable people are rarely ever happy. Because let's be real, they're not. Comfortable people are not happy because you can either grow or you can be comfortable. You can't be both. Now, the results last and the results get they accumulate. They get more and more over time. And that is the gift of evolution, right? The gift of you become so much more than you ever thought was possible. I know this happened for me. Like, my life is more abundant and rich in a sense of love and happiness and fulfillment than ever before. Ever. And I never thought that I could get to this moment. Now I need to make sure I don't get emotional. But the result of that is that growth and change becomes now exciting. Not just scary, right? It becomes fun. It's something you do because you want to do it. And it serves you. It benefits you so much. So healing isn't this burden anymore. It's not like, oh, I need to heal. It's like, this is a journey of self-discovery. I am discovering every single part of my soul, my heart, my mind, and I'm using that for my own advantage. I'm using that as power and strength. And you become, honestly, the happiest and most self-loving version of yourself. And that is in my opinion, the best thing that could ever happen to you, right? So if this is your jam and if you feel like this is exactly what I need, join Healed Baddies, my self-therapy membership. I created that space for people just like you. I created that space because I was you. At one point in my life, I felt the exact same way, and it was because self-therapy changed me, helped me, healed me, that I'm now being the mentor and the guide for you and so many other women. So if this is something that you know you need, get in here. We love to have you, and I'm fucking excited. Now, if this video resonated with you, if it maybe changed your perspective on a few things, maybe you have had similar therapy experiences, maybe you had different ones, whatever it is, like, let's have a conversation. Comment down below, give this a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to this channel so you get the real juice every Friday. I love you and thank you for being here.